Hey guys, thanks for coming to my presentation today. I'll be talking about using PowerPoint to help you teach online. And I'm going to be covering loads of points, and let's go through them quickly. So how to make really cool cover slides, using animation for your text, using backgrounds to highlight your text, inserting pictures into PowerPoint, embedding audio, inserting scans from your textbook as well, and also a really cool transition called morph, and then highlighting text within the scans from your textbook, embedding video using countdowns, the transparent background PNG files. Then I'll specifically talk about using PowerPoint and Zoom together. Then there's a really interesting effect called slide zoom that I only discovered a few weeks ago, so I'll talk about that. Then using gap fill exercises, and finally how you can even use PowerPoint as a whiteboard for your classes. Alright, let's get started. First things we're going to look at is cover slides, text animation and background for your text, and also inserting pictures, using pictures effectively. Okay, so here we've got a very basic slide, or two slides, and we're gonna liven these slides up using animation for the text and also background for the text too. So you highlight your text, click on animations. You can see there's lots to choose from. One of my favorites though is fly in, and if you have text flying in from the left, it has quite a nice effect. What you can also do is to add a background for the text as well, and you can insert a shape, so a rectangle over the text there, and the default is that it'll be at the front, so you've got to send it back, send it backwards, send it right to the back there, so you can see the text has got a nice background. We can also animate the background too, and it looks quite nice if it's coming in from the left side. Sorry, from the right. There we go. So the text is coming in from the left and the background's coming in from the right. What you can also do is have both effects happening simultaneously. So if you go to timing, and there we've got the text it's going to happen, the animation is going to happen on a click, but the background you can have it to happen with previous. If you select with previous, then it'll happen at the same time, just like this. There you go. So you can see they're both coming together, and that looks quite professional, quite a nice effect. It can be achieved relatively quickly. Another great thing to do with your PowerPoint slides is to include lots of pictures, and this is one that was on my desktop. I've selected it from Google Images already. If we send it to the back, it's a nice background image, makes your slides more interesting to look at. We can also change the transparency of that background for the text. There's a range of transparency there, so you've still got a background for the text there, but you can see the image behind it. So it's starting to look really nice, really professional. Also, we can choose different colors for the text. Maybe a little bit less transparent background there. Here we go. So I think you'd agree that looks quite nice for the cover slide. So we can do the same with this one as well. There's the background, send it to the back, highlight the text. You can also change the brightness of the background too, if you want the text to show up more visibly. Okay. So you can see the text stands out quite nicely, but you've still got an image at the back. Let's animate the text again, flying in from the left. Okay. Another nice animation is float in. That one's flying. With the previous one. And we'll copy across the background from the previous slide. Send backwards. And send it backwards again. And again. And there we go. It's behind the text. Okay, move that up. Now for this slide, what I normally do is then link to the class website. So you know, a good way to do this, so you don't mess about with opening windows while you're in Zoom, is to put a button in there. So there's a picture. Just animate that as well. Which one should we have? Float in. Yeah, float in's quite a nice animation. So I quite like fly in and float in. We'll have that after previous. Let's put a button link to the class LMS. So insert a round cornered rectangle. And you can type text into the shape. Just make that a bit bigger. Okay, get it the right size, the right position. And to make it look like a button, you can choose one of the preset shape effects. This one's bevel and shaded. It's got shaded edges like that. Now the trick here is to click on the shape. If you right click on the shape, oh hang on, I'll just animate it. Let's have that floating in with the image of the house. Okay. And click on the shape, right click on the shape, open hyperlink. And in the address, the URL address for this example, that's the class University LMS there. So when you're in the presentation mode, if you just click on that shape, a new window will open to whatever website you've linked to in the hyperlink. Let's have a look at it. Okay, so if you're in Zoom, that will all open up nicely within that one shared screen in Zoom. So that was using cover slides, text animation, text background and pictures. Next, we're going to check out embedding audio, inserting scans from your textbook, using morph and gap fill exercises. So you've got to scan your textbook to a JPG format and then insert it as a picture into your PowerPoint file, just like this one. And then I'm going to copy that slide and repeat it there. And for the second one, I'm going to make the picture bigger. I'm going to fit this bit into to the slide like that. And then I'm going to use transition called morph, which looks really professional. So it zooms in to the textbook exercise in slideshow like this. I think that looks pretty good. Next thing I'm going to do is we're going to do a listening activity and gap fill, so students have to listen for the missing words. So if you insert a shape like that, and then we've got no outline, let's have a nicer colour, there we go. And then with the shape you can put a number in, so missing word number 1, 2, 3. Cover up the word that you want the students to listen for. Then animate it, this time with exit effects. And this one is wipe from left to right to reveal the word that they're listening for. You can just copy that as many times as you want. Well, let's do 3 and cover up some more words. Here we go. You can adjust the size of the shape to fit the word exactly right. Put number 2 in this one, and number 3 in there. Okay, so we've got the textbook, we've got the 3 questions for students. They've got to listen out for those words. Next we need the audio file, so you can embed that directly into your PowerPoint. So go to your computer files, choose the track that you want and insert it. There we go, there it is. Position it where you like it. And you can adjust the size. And we can change the colour. There's a border option. Let's have the red one, there we go. Also by default, PowerPoint puts automatic play animation just from clicking, so I tend to get rid of that and do it manually myself. Okay, let's use the icon function. So if you click on icon, search for an image that you're looking for. So I'd like a text. There we go. Let's use that one. Insert, move it down there. Okay, and this is the students are going to have to write down the words they want. So I want a pen icon. Let's search for a pen. There we go. Insert, move it down. Make that a bit bigger. Okay, that looks good. Now we're going to insert some text. So click on text box, insert text box. Listening practice. And you can make it go horizontal, vertical, like that. You just swivel it round, position it there. Let's add a bit of colour. And bold it as well. Great. Oh, that's looking excellent. And we can animate it as well. Okay, fly in, Now we'll do a background for that. Change the colour. No outline. Make it transparent. About 40% should do. Send it back once so the text is over the top of it. Animate it. There we go, coming from the top. Flying in from the top. Let's animate these as well. We'll have that one flying in from the left. We'll have the pen coming in from the right. And the timings. So at the moment we've got the 3 gap fill thingies. They want to be at the end. And the other animations come at the beginning. And they should all be together, so with previous. Let's have a look, see what it looks like.
Ayako 17.
I heard that if we start the new system in Japanese universities, we will be forced to do volunteer work until we enter the university. High school students will graduate in March. I don't like this idea.
Next, we're going to look at text highlights. This time, I'm going to show you how you can use a shape to highlight text for the students. So you could use this for a scanned textbook, something that you want to draw the students' attention to. So I've just inserted a picture there for the background from my desktop. That's another image, I found it on Google, a Google search in images. And then I'll insert, this is a PNG file. So you can see it's got a transparent background there. But I want to use the text in the middle, so I'm going to make it bigger. So the text fills the whole slide. You can see there's the slide view on the left. So to get it right, I'll I'll make the work surface smaller and get it lined up like that. And if you look on the left, you can see that the text is nicely aligned in the slide there. I'll animate that to come in from the left side. Okay, looks alright, so we'll make that bigger again. And so this is how you highlight the text. So go to Insert, Shapes, choose a rectangle, cover up the text that you want. Yellow works pretty well. Make it transparent. About 40%, 35%. Now you can see the text underneath. We'll animate that with wipe from the left side. And that's going to be on click by default. If you want to highlight any more text, you simply copy that rectangle. I'm going to drag it down. I want the students to focus on the topic and the goals for this class. Here we have it. Let's have a look. Okay, that was text highlights. Now let's look at embedding video using countdown timers and also embedding those transparent background images, PNG files. So here we've got an activity called word groups where students have to basically brainstorm words belonging to a particular semantic group. And there's an example slide here. So the example is different fruits. So a good way to make sure that your text is centrally aligned is to extend the text box to either edge and then centralize it, and then it's bang in the middle. I'm going to change the color of that, and let's put a black background. Go to format background, click on the different colors, and then I'm going to choose black. Go back to our first slide there. There are the different fruits already. I've already typed those in. I've changed the color of the text so you can see it against the black background. I'm going to select all of them, make them a bit bigger. Now at the moment they're coming in from the bottom, but as you know by now, I quite like the flying text coming in from the left side. So I'm going to highlight all the animation in the animation pane on the right side there, and change it to flying in from the left. There we go. Okay. So we'll have the fruits floating in and word groups flying in from the left, and background for the text. Send that to the back, and let's have a red background. Looks quite nice there against the black. We don't need an outline for the shape. Choose a different colour for the text there, and that looks quite nice. And we've got to animate the background flying in from the right. There we go. Okay. So the titles need to be before the examples. So the animations need to come at the top. Fruits is going to start after previous, and the other two are going to come with fruits, if that makes sense. And I've found a PNG file through a Google search of a melon. There we go, it's PNG. So the background is blank. So whatever color background PowerPoint slide you have, it will show against the melon. So PNG files often got a transparent background, very useful. That's going to come in from the bottom, and that animation wants to be with the titles above the examples. So above melon, there we go, and with previous. Okay. Yeah, looks pretty good. Now to do the second slide, this is where the students are brainstorming words connected to the semantic group you've given them. So we'll just copy the animation that we've already made, paste it into the second slide there. We also need the category. So when you copy and paste things like that, the animation and everything associated with it is copied across. So it's very time saving. Once you've set it up how you want it, you can just copy and paste within a lesson and obviously between lessons too. So now, how to do the timer. So we're going to insert video from a file, and this is a video, a 2-minute timer that I found on YouTube and I've downloaded from YouTube, and it comes with video and music as well, is part of it. Okay, so let's see how that, we've just got to, so by default, if you insert a video, PowerPoint has a animation, so just delete those and put your own in, press play, and you want it to be on click, which is the default anyway. On click. Let's see how that looks. Next, let's look at using Zoom and PowerPoint together. So if you click on slideshow, go to setup slideshow. Make sure you've got this one selected. So not the top one, which is default, you want the second one. And that'll make sure that you, when you use slideshow, it'll open in a separate window. Let's take a look at it. There we go. You can see it's on my desktop, it's open in a separate window. And that's very handy. I'll show you in a minute why. So I like to have music playing when students join the class. I open the Zoom about 10 minutes before, so make sure you check this one, share computer sound, share, and then the students will get the music piped directly to their computers rather than it coming through your microphone. You can also have a QR code there for students to download worksheets while they're waiting. Now it's good if it opens in a separate window because of this. Look, if you click on the links within your PowerPoint, boom, there you go. There's the class LMS. All we've got to do is share that screen with the students. So it's very handy. Some important tips there on using Zoom and PowerPoint together. So next is a really interesting feature. I only discovered it a few weeks ago. It's called Slide Zoom. Let's check Slide Zoom out. This is what it looks like. Very professional. Each one zooms in as you click on it. This one was for introducing the 3 worksheets that we needed for the class. And I'll show you how to do it. Here's the original PowerPoint with each slide for each worksheet. And I just inserted a new slide at the top. I'm going to copy over the background. Here we go. And then you want to choose Insert and Zoom just there and select Slide Zoom. And you can choose which slides you want to insert. So we'll have the first one, worksheet 1. Insert, Zoom, and I'll choose worksheet 2, the second slide. And the third one. There we go. There's the 3 worksheets, the 3 slides, and I want to make them a bit bigger, and I want to make them the same size. So just overlay that, get it the same size. Okay, and then arrange them how you like. And you can edit each slide as well. There's the zoom tools, and you can put a border on it. Let's have a border and a shadow just to give it a bit of relief. Do the same with this one, and the border, black border and shadow. There we go. Okay, now something important is you also want to make sure that you've selected this checkbox, return to zoom. So for slide 1, return to zoom, return to zoom, and I'll show you what that means in a second. Let's see how it looks. Slideshow. Okay, and if you click on that, there we go, we zoom into that. And if you click again, that's return to zoom, so it goes back to that. Click and zoom, and then it zooms in. That's it. Okay, I think you'll agree, slide zoom makes your PowerPoint look really professional. Right, next I want to show you how to use PowerPoint as a whiteboard. And this example is a game of noughts and crosses that I've played with my students many times. So I'll change the white slide into a darker background, and then I'm going to insert some shapes. Here are the lines for the noughts and crosses board. When you insert them, they're a bit thin, so you can change the colour, make it a bit lighter, and you can also change the thickness of the lines as well. There we go. And then I'll copy that shape. And then use these lines to make the noughts and crosses board. Okay, there we go. So that's the noughts and crosses board. Next we need the noughts and crosses. So for the crosses, you can go to the icons and just search for cross, and there it is there. So we'll insert that. We can change the thickness of the lines again, make it a brighter colour, and also you can change the transparency as well, so that you can still see whatever's underneath it when you put it on the board. Go into more colours, transparency about 45%. Okay, and then we'll make a load of copies of these. And they're all ready to use during the game. Now we need a circle, so I got that from shapes, and we can adjust the thickness of that. Let's change the colour. Light green. Maybe red. I think maybe red would be better for that one. Okay. Make it a little bit less see-through. That's better. Okay. Make some copies of that one. Right, so for this particular game, I wanted to practice prepositions. So students had to choose one of the squares, and each square contained a preposition. And if their sentence was grammatically correct, then they got either a cross or a nought for their team. So each square's got a different preposition in it. And you can just copy these text fields into each one. I'm going to speed the video up here because this takes quite a while. Right, and then into each field a different preposition. I'll speed up again. Okay, there we have it, ready to play. Now the thing is, right, if you do this in slideshow, you can't move any of the elements around. So you should come out of slideshow in the class, and the students can still see, your slide there, and you can move the elements around. Okay, so that's how you use PowerPoint as a whiteboard. So that's how to use PowerPoint as a whiteboard. So today I've told you about all these different features of PowerPoint that can help you get the most out of PowerPoint when you teach in your online classes. So thanks for watching today. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And yeah, if you want to get in touch with me, that's my email address just there. Or if you want to find out more about my teaching and research, you can check out my website as well. Okay, take care. Thanks again for watching. And if you've got any comments or questions, just leave them down below. Okay, cheers. Bye bye.